What's up, everybody? I am Coach Lore. My name is Lorena Reynoso, but everybody knows me as Coach Lore. I am 33 years old, and I am pretty much from two different places. So I was born in Mexico City, and I made my way to the US when I was 6 years old. Stayed here till I was 12, and then I went back to Mexico until I was about 19 years old, and now I've been here again in Santa California. Even though the US and Mexico is so close by, culturally, traditionally, it's very different. And I think one of the biggest hurdles was identity, right? Because growing up here, you feel like you're not Latino enough for the Latinos and you're not white enough for the white people. And it creates a very weird identity crisis. And then when you go down there, you also feel like you're not Mexican enough for them. And it's just a constant battle, but it has its ups as well. It was wonderful to diversify everything from the way I think to the way I speak, and having two languages and two cultures. It's really been a blessing. So how I found out that I had BPD was definitely a process. I had tics and twitches since I was little and since I could remember. But coming from a Mexican household, it was more like, hey, stop it. You know what I mean? It's all in your mind. Or on the other side, it's some kind of witchcraft going on, which till this day, I'm like, I don't know, maybe a little bit. But later on, I found out it was Tourette syndrome. With Tourette syndrome, you kind of get a cocktail of OCD and generalized anxiety. So I had a lot of muscular tics, but I also had a lot of OCD tics, things that I needed to do, like knock 3 times on a wall. As I became a teenager, I started realizing I was very angry. I mean, very angry and very aggressive. All of my reactions were very aggressive, not so much in my household, but at school. And I started getting bullied. Then as I aged a little bit more, 15, 16, started having boyfriends, I started realizing that sometimes if things were too okay, I wasn't okay. If things were just good, it would start to be like, this is weird, we need a little chaos, right? And then I would freak out. Some days I'd wake up and be like, that's it, the day's ruined. Like, I'm not happy, the day's ruined, nothing's gonna change. I'm just gonna stay in bed and listen to Evanescence and cry all day. But it wasn't until I was 18 years old that I got really, really bad. And I was hospitalized, and they diagnosed me with borderline personality disorder. At its worst, I remember just being at my wit's end and being like, I can't do this, like this life. Like, I thought I was meant to do this, but I just am not handling. In contrast, how is my life now? It's a fantastic. I am very, very happy with my life and with myself and with everything that I've been able to accomplish, and also with the people around me who support me, who I owe a lot to. I did do a lot of therapy and I tried different medications, but to be quite honest, one change that brought it about was my best friend in 2015 got kidnapped. He got taken away. You guys know in Mexico there's some issues like that. So he got taken away. My first reaction was like, I'm gonna go learn MMA and I am going to get a set of skills and go find him. And that was the plan, right? I'm gonna superhero this. As I quickly found out, it was not gonna be that easy, and my mom begged me, you're just gonna get yourself killed. So I stayed at that MMA gym, and I was kind of introduced to this aspect of wellness that I never was. I was never an athlete. I was a thinker, a philosopher. I was not an athlete. And I started practicing jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, and that took me into caring about health and wellness. I ended up going to Arizona State to get my bachelor's in nutrition, and then right after, I specialized in behavior change. And during that journey, it was all about applying it to myself. Diet, exercise, thinking about my habits, thinking about my behaviors. I would write down my bad days. I would look in a calendar how many bad days I had, where the bad days stem from, just really, really analytically going in and being like, why do I feel this way? How can I change it? And I've spent the last 7 years of my life really putting so much work into it so that if I could help myself, then I could truly help other people. So I am a nutritionist, and I have a wellness diagnostics office. I work with a lot of athletes, but also general public. I'm a behavior change specialist, so my nutrition is very much involved with behavior change. I also work in wellness, specializing with Latinx, which is a big part of my life, helping my people and the preservation of our pre-Hispanic and Mesoamerican culture. I am about health and wellness and Mexico. That's what makes me me. So a tip that I would give to someone newly diagnosed with BPD or still struggling is, it's going to be okay. You know, it's cliche, and it doesn't feel like it's going to be okay. And I'm not minimizing the pain because I know how it can be. When I really say it's gonna be okay, I mean there's options. There are many options for this to get better. I also see it in a little bit more stoic or disciplined way, and that's just the way I was brought up. It's going to be up to you. No one else is gonna come in and change it. No one else is gonna come in and make it go away. It's gonna be up to you, and you have to own up to your own feelings and your own behaviors. And there has to be a moment when you say, okay, we're gonna keep working on it, or we're gonna start working on it, but it is going to be dependent on you. Life has a lot of wonderful, beautiful things, and though it feels like it's out of control now, it can be controlled. And the last thing I'll say that is something that my mom said to me that stuck with me or continues to stick with me is sometimes we get these superpowers that just are overwhelming and we don't know how to use them. You know, I've seen any superhero movie, everyone wakes up and goes, I don't know how to deal with this superhero. This is overwhelming. And you have to train, right? You have to train, you have to take the time to really harness your skill and realize that sometimes these problems end up being powers or skills that we can use to be better people and to help other people. And I think that that's what helped me the most, just constantly thinking these problems or skills can be used for something better. I just need to figure out how to use them.